Okay, this video is completely optional, so if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. You can just stop it right now. But basically, I don't really like the way I taught you guys how to graph parabolas, and I've been teaching it a little bit different in class, so I decided I was going to make a video the way I've been teaching it in class because it's a lot easier. So instead of really using all these formulas, we don't need to use them. Well, we kind of do, but you don't need to worry about like the focus and the directrix. There's just an easier way to find it, okay? So let's look at this first example right here. So we're going to graph this parabola. So first, we have to write which way it opens. That's always the first thing we should do. So this is an x equals, which x is the horizontal axis. So it's either going to open left or it's going to open right. And this is positive, and the x's get positive as I go to the right, which means this is going to open in that direction. So it's going to open right. Okay. Second thing we do, find the center. There are no pluses or minuses here, so the center is at 0, 0. And then the last thing we do is find our p-value. And you always, always, always use 1 over 4p. So I'm just going to write that right here. Always use 1 over 4p. Every single time. I don't know what kind of shape that was. But you always use 1 over 4p. And you set it equal to the fraction that's in front of your squared or in front of the parentheses like it will be down here. So I'm going to set 1 over 4p equal to 1 over 16. Then I just solve for p. So I'm going to flip both these fractions. So that's 4p equals 16, so p equals 4. Because you can divide both sides by 4 right there. Okay. If you don't see that, I'll hurry and do it. So you can divide by 4, divide by 4. Those would cancel, so p equals 4. Okay. Then at this point, I can graph it. You don't need to write your focus. You don't need to write your directrix. Let's just graph this. So the center's at 0, 0. So I'm going to draw that right there. This opens to the right. And the focus is always in the direction that you open because it tells you which way you're opening. It's kind of like you're hugging the focus, okay? Like think of the two lines that go out as like arms, and they're kind of just hugging that focus, okay? So we're going to go, so p equals 4. I'm going to go out 4 from this dot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right there. Okay. If I went right 4, I also have to go the opposite direction. So I'm going to go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw my directrix. The directrix you can think of as like a wall or something, and you can't get over it. We can't go to the other side. So this graph kind of gets close to that directrix, and it just goes the other way because it can't cross it. You can't cross the directrix. Okay. And then once we do this, we know that this distance right here is 4. So this distance is p, right? Because p equals 4. The distance out this way is double whatever that p-value is. So p was 4, which means I'm going to go out 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 2p. And then you can just graph this. And you're done. That's all. Okay? Your p always goes, the focus is always in whatever direction you opened. So like if this was a negative right here, this graph would just be flipped this other way, this way. Okay? Let's do one more example of one that's moved. So we're not at 0, 0 anymore. We're not at 0, 0. So first, we're always going to say, which way does this open? This is a y equals, which means the y-axis is the vertical axis, and it's negative, and y's get negative as you go down. So this opens down. Okay, and then we always use 1 over 4p every single time. So I'm going to find, oh crap, just kidding, back up, beep, beep. Okay, we're going to find the center. So first you find the center. You could find the p-value at this point, but let's just keep it in the order that we've been doing it. So write which way it opens, then we find the center. So to find the center, this is an x inside there, which means my x coordinate is going to be this value right here. So it's going to be -1. And then my y coordinate is -4. Okay. And then I just have to find my p-value, which I was trying to do before, and I backed up. Now we're going to really do it. So we're going to set this number right here equal to 1 over 4p. So 1 over 4p equals -1/8. And then we can just flip both these fractions. So you get 4p equals -8. That negative has to stay there. You can't just get rid of it. And then to solve for p, so this equals p equals -2. And if you can't see what step I skipped, you divide by 4. And that will give you that p equals -2. Now let's just graph this. So the center is -1, -4. Right there. It opens down, which means my focus is down too. And if you think this has a negative right there, which kind of tells you which direction you're going. If it's negative, you're going to go towards the negatives. If it's positive, you're going to go towards the positives. So this is negative, which means I'm going to go down 1, 2. If I went down, I have to go the opposite direction too to draw that line that you can't ever cross, the directrix. So I go up 2, draw this line. Okay. Remember, this distance is 2. So p, I'm just going to put p equals 2, which means I'm going to go out double that. So I'm going to go out 2p, which is 4 in this case. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you just graph this. And you're done. Okay. I hope that helped you guys a little bit. I know you've been struggling, and I know it's kind of my fault because I haven't been here. So I'm sorry, but I hope this helps you guys a little bit. Okay. If you're still struggling, really, please come in and get help before the test, before the final and everything, okay? Bye.